in most kingdoms you can find these this like Koopa Trooper next to scoreboards, and you can partake in a race through the kingdom from one point to another. As you play through the game, you can obtain, I think, up to 2 moons until that through that challenge, and then later on you just get some coins for completing it. But obviously, since there's actually an in-game timer in these challenges, speedrunners immediately were interested in essentially trying to complete this as fast as possible and getting world records. World records for this are actually tracked not on speedrun.com, but on Mario Kart World Records, which is like a typical like time trial world record site. And they've been crazy optimized throughout the time. Now, in Koopa Freerunning RTA, the goal is to complete each of the races, like all of the races, as fast as possible. You can start your file on a completed, like you can start your run on a completed file. And these runners will start on the reset screen here in the Metro Kingdom Koopa Freerunning challenge, and then make their way through the game, through all of the challenges, and whoever finishes first wins. Now, there's one big difference. In Koopa Freerunning, sometimes runners tend to use a lot of captures. In normal Koopa Freerunning, for the in-game timer, the timer actually stops when you capture an object. When you do that here in an RTA run, obviously the timer will continue, even though the in-game timer doesn't. So actually the strats differ. You can see these guys take some wires up here instead of using these forks that they usually capture, and very quick here from Slayer, by the way. In the normal Koopa Freerunning, in RTA, they'll use this jump instead, and Slayer with a really quick first round here.
Did look like Philly Fan kind of took the more like traditional approach to this Koopa Freerunning. He did take the little fork flicks up to the top of the building. But yes, Limcube, what you're saying is very important, that RTA strats don't necessarily correlate into what perhaps the quote-unquote fastest way to do the Koopa Freerunnings is, because when you watch the world records, they're very impressive, but they also make use of the fact that the timer just like on the screen just completely stops once you capture something. So because RTA means that the timer is going with real time, you just kind of have to do the fastest thing regardless of the actual Koopa Freerunning timers here. So now a little bit about our competitors. So Blip Blow, you know, coming in at the last second here, filling in the spot for Chaos Pringle. Blip Blow, kind of the, you know, maybe the underdog to root for in this competition. Has a little bit of Koopa Freerunning experience under his belt, and also a bunch of like general speedrunning knowledge. Philly Fan's kind of in the same boat, to be honest. He's a very general speedrunner. He does a lot of main board categories. He's very well known for those kinds of things. But I think the front runners in this particular competition to look out for, Hey There Cool and Ganon Slayer.
Yeah, both of them like actual dedicated Koopa Freerunners, while you said the other two more so known for the main board stuff. Here in Sand Kingdom Koopa Freerunning, actually also a pretty interesting one. This is actually, in my opinion, one of the most boring ones, because most of the time it's spent just doing wire driving, like driving around in the wires. It's pretty cool how runners use the spin throw here, though, to basically as optimal as possible. The spin throw has a huge reach compared to a normal cap throw, so sometimes when they want to capture the wire that's furthest away, they tend to use a spin throw instead of a normal cap throw. And the rest is just pretty much just driving on wires, doing some spin pounds. And Philly actually just behind Ganon Slayer here, both of them leaving Sand to go through the painting to Wooded Kingdom. Now, two things. First of all, Hey There's timer didn't start at the beginning, so we just ignore that. We have obviously 4 timers on the screen, and we can just gauge what his pace is depending on that. Another thing that I want to ask you about, Dane, just because I've been out of the loop a little bit there as they start out Wooded Kingdom Freerunning, is something I've heard about the loading times in handheld mode. What's with that?
So interestingly enough, it was discovered recently that if you play this game in handheld mode, the loads between the kingdoms is actually faster in the post game, which is a very interesting concept. So these guys could actually be doing this a little bit more optimally if they were playing in handheld mode versus captured mode, but obviously the only way to do that would be to set up your camera. It would look really bad. So these guys are all playing in docked mode so that they can get a proper HDMI signal through to their capture card so that it looks nice for us. But, you know, that is a development for this category. If you're interested in following along with it, if you're playing in handheld mode, you actually do save time on loading screens.
Yeah. Gannon is over playing clean, showing his Koopa Freerunning premise and leaving wooded basically immediately now going through the cage, I'm assuming, to Seaside Kingdom, which is a pretty interesting one. It uses, as far as I know, 2 different captures. Unless I missed out on strats. Actually, yeah, it might be different because of the RTA timing. But as far as I know, they usually use the fish and the gushen. But you know, maybe I just know the boomer strats. I don't know. Back then, from the good old Odyssey days. But we'll see. Ganon's still in the lead. Obviously, the movement outside of the races also matters in this category. There is a lot of warping, but the movement that Philifan did here, pretty nice spin pound on top of the cup, followed by a vector down towards the race. That stuff matters too.
And a vector, for anybody who's curious, is kind of just using a curve in the air to angle your trajectory, and that makes Mario go faster while he's falling or while he's jumping. And now, as you were saying, Seaside probably does have 2 captures. If you're doing it the casual way, you might even add another one at the end. There's a little fork flick area towards the side of the wall, but you probably won't see these guys go for that. They're going to grab the fish, then they're also going to grab this gushen, and this gushen actually is going to be able to find a foothold on the side of this wall. You're going to see Ganon is approaching that first. He's going to try and find a little ledge to land on this wall, and then use that to boost the gushen up to the top like that.
Very clean. This is where you see those very tight dives into rolls. This is where you see when somebody's actually grinded a race like this. Very, very clean there by Ganon. Still in the lead quite comfortably, but Philly just behind, finishing the race second. Hey there also in there, and Bliplo here at the tail end, but it's still pretty close between all of them. If one of them was to, for example, die in one of the races, that would obviously cause a huge time loss. Lost, I'm looking at you specifically here. Lost always having the chances to have somebody reset a race because of that poison floor. It's just like back in the day when we used to commentate any percent runs. Lost always the scary kingdom for races.
Yep, and this one is no exception. This is basically the beginning portion of the any percent. You know, that the Lost Kingdom is just exactly the same as the beginning portion to an 80% run. So now I'm actually beginning to notice something here. So at the end of these Koopa freerunning races, you're seeing that they're being awarded coins. And in the very first time and the second time, if you've in the post game, the second time you complete these races, you actually are awarded a moon for coming in first place. Now they've purposefully gone out of their way to complete the race that many
already,
times
exactly,
to get the moons out of the way, because the coins are faster, but you also get rewarded more coins if you actually break your personal record for that particular Koopa freerunning. So I actually watched Philly lose some time because he must have had his best Seaside time. He actually got more coins as a result and probably lost himself a little bit of time. You probably won't see that time loss from Ganon or from Hey there, simply because they've done Koopa freerunning so much.
They have crazy good records, exactly.
Exactly. So something to look out for in case, one of these guys actually breaks a personal record in one of these Koopa freerunning races, that they actually are going to be doing themselves a disservice and losing time.
True. I guess it's interesting at what point you break even between getting that better time and getting those extra coins. I'm assuming you would need to be PB by quite a bit to actually make up for the time loss from the coins. But Philly's still going to be happy about this one. Now, that's a huge bonk there from Ganon. He has to reset quickly. This will actually make him... This is the worst death to take in Bowser's Kingdom. I was about to say, this is the longest out of all of the Koopa freerunnings. And it's super painful to take a death there, having to reset there. And you saw him hesitate for a little bit because he knew how much that hurt his chances of winning. Everybody else actually getting it done at Hey there, now in the lead, finishing the race. Can't actually completely see the time here. Looks like it was a 1:07.96. So pretty fast there on Hey there. Super unfortunate for Ganon.
Yep, this one takes you from the very top of Bowser's Kingdom all the way down to the bottom. Taking a death means you have to restart. There is no kind of checkpoints in between. So, yeah, very costly. Going to put Ganon in the back of the pack now, and he's going to have to rely on his ability to just do these really clean to make it up, but he is also showing a little bit of fumbling.
And I can understand, because this is easily the most punishing Koopa freerunning to make a mistake, and specifically so far in. He was 2 captures away from actually completing the race, still in first place. Now, like we said, there's still a couple races to go through. The record in this category, I think, is it 17, 18, somewhere along those lines. So we are still quite far away from that. We still have a couple races to go through, like Lake, which is probably impossible to die in, but Lost definitely one where you could take a death in. It's pretty unlikely that all 3 of them will, so it's an unfortunate mistake there from Ganon. But let's see And let's look at Hader specifically, who's now in the lead, who's now starting Lost Kingdom, going for a yeah, like kind of like a cap return jump here, like basically a stretch, classic like any percent strat. Very nice roll cancel into spin pound onto that button, and is now going to go for the double jumps up to the end of the race. Very clean. Still going to keep his lead.
Yep, that's pretty textbook stuff from Hey There Cool. Now, you saw Philly Fan tried to go for that cap return jump as well. Didn't quite get it, so he had to do the backup onto the purple coin platform, but otherwise going to be following suit just right here. Looks like him and Bliplow are neck and neck at this particular point in the race, while Ganon is just about to start his own Koopa Freerunning in Lost.
Yeah, and it's actually interesting how we have one race between Bliplow and Ganon Slayer now. I think it's not completely over. If Bliplow was to make a mistake in one of those kingdoms and took a death, I think Ganon could still get back on track, starting from that lead that he lost in Bowser's Kingdom. But it's obviously going to be pretty hard for anybody to catch up with Hey There here. Thinking about the races that I said, we have Mushroom Kingdom. I think that's the last one, usually, if I remember correctly.
I think Moon actually is where we end.
Moon is the last one. Okay, Moon is the last one. Anyway, Lake, pretty much no chance to die here. Last stack in the kingdom in general. I feel like the only way you really die here is drowning. Or maybe to Rango or something, unfortunately. But specifically here during the race, we're using actually some pretty advanced water movement to keep our momentum in the water. Water is usually really slow, but Hey There with a very clean Lake, making it look easy.
Yep, using some kind of tricky little cap throws to bounce your way through the water on the top of the surface rather than actually swimming through. Obviously going to be a little bit faster for you here. And avoiding the water as much as possible. You can see Philly Fan and Bliplow both doing a little triple jump to get over most of the water on their way. And then a cap return jump to hop out of the water there. And Philly actually takes a dive, got his input eaten by the flower pad. That's actually a really common thing to happen. Bliplow is going to take second place now.
And we're going to Luncheon, which is probably the most infamous Koopa freerunning of them all. For the longest time, people tried to break this kingdom in less than 10 seconds. I'm pretty sure the record is like ridiculously lower than 10 seconds now. The movement in a normal run, and this is absolutely ridiculous. This is one of the kingdoms where RTA will differ from the normal strats. In the RTA run, you will skip out on capturing that Podoboo, that lava bubble, which is actually faster for the in-game timer. But still, the movement here is very crazy, if not optimized. Apparently, the record is 9:48 when people struggled for the longest time to get a sub 10. So it's been optimized to a crazy level. And Hey There, starting off very clean, getting the cap return jump there, getting the extra distance on the throw onto the fork, diving over. Very quick spin for that guy is ridiculous. That was so clean. Maybe could have dived a little bit earlier there at the end, but holy moly. Still very nice.
And this Koopa Freerunning movement is like, yeah, it's insane to watch, and it's inspired a lot of other speedruns. Like, you never really see any other speedruns of this game take this giant course all the way up through the mountain anymore. You kind of watch them all do this. Usually a simplified version of this movement where they're coming up this wall with the torches and then just kind of like jumping their way up to the top extremely fast. And yeah, Hey There makes it look easy.
Yeah, for sure. Also realizing again the past tense of dive is dove. It happens to the best of us. But yeah, let's see. Philly's Luncheon also looking pretty good so far. Definitely playing it safer than Hey There, really going all out on his strategies. And you can actually see at the end timings here, at the ending timings here, that Hey There saved 7 seconds over both of them.
Which is just insane. And it does look like Philly was able to make
Wait, is it not dove? Now I'm getting called out again. What's the past tense of diving?
Dove.
Okay. Chat is just confusing me.
I think chat's trying to pull a fast one on you.
Oh, yeah. It's Hey There. Wait, Hey There not going for DSS? Oh, disqualified. I was actually going to just talk about this in time. Cascade Kingdom has the option to go for Dino Skip. Or the real Dino Skip, instead of going all the way around. It's obviously, I don't know how your consistency with that is nowadays. Dangerous.
Probably not good enough to go for it in a Koopa Freerunning time attack.
Okay.
But considering it is right at the beginning of a lot of other speedruns, it's not so bad. It does look like Ganon is trying to kind of follow suit with Hey There and go really tight on the corners and the lines in Luncheon, and was having a little bit of difficulty, but they did finish the race there. I saw they had to reset to a death, so not doing themselves very many favors catching up here.
Yeah. I think I saw Chaos actually try to go for DSS in one of his like warm-up runs, but now he didn't even show up, so maybe that's not a good idea. Anyway, we are in Cap Kingdom now. Cap Kingdom starts off with a pretty long fall after getting the cleanest spin pounds possible, and then very optimized rolls as you basically roll through the entirety of the kingdom until the very beginning. Getting a long vector here. We talked about these earlier, so make sure, hey, they're making sure to keep that 45-degree angle up. Keeping his momentum there optimally, walking up the slope and now transitioning back towards, going to dive over the fence here, gets a little bit of an extra vector, and is just going to roll it out to the end very clean. This man is on a mission.
Yep. Clear front runner with Hey There, cool. He's taking it and he's running with it. It'd be interesting to see if Ganon actually goes for DSS to try and make up some time.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I think so. Like at this point, this is what he needs. I'm looking. Yep, definitely going for it.
Oh, and takes the bonk. He's gonna
redo it. He's gonna redo it. He's gonna redo it. He's gonna redo it. Yep. He's gonna do it until he gets it, 100%. It's just for the showcase, you know? He just wants to show it off.
Yep, and you can't blame him for that. This is a really cool trick when it does work, so hopefully third time's the charm.
Fourth time.
Yes, that's what.
Nope. Okay, going on a clean slate. I see.
Yes, try again from the beginning. Meanwhile, we have Mushroom Kingdom on Hey screen.
Mushroom Kingdom, this is where my huge Koopa Freerunning knowledge comes in. I was talking about this on my stream earlier. That was actually one of the longest. It probably, anybody correct me, but it should probably be the longest standing record. It was the longest standing record. And I think it was a 12:21, which stood for like so long. And then suddenly everybody started getting like 12:20s. And I think Hamidou's still like going in that category for like even lower times. Some of the actual knowledgeable people in chat can probably correct me. Oh, okay.
There we go. Ganon gets the DSS. Let's go.
What a gamer.
Showing it off, getting that first place. But yeah, you're absolutely right about that with Mushroom Kingdom. It's crazy that the record stood for so long, and then all of a sudden it just started getting chopped down like by 0.1 at a time, essentially, like very small increments. But it was crazy to see. And it's hard to optimize something that is literally just like running with rocket flowers going top speed, but they managed to do it. So
true. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like the smallest jumps, the cleanest lines. But yeah, we are in Snow Kingdom now, which I actually kind of like. I actually don't know if they go for. No, they probably won't go for a fish for sure. I'm pretty sure they just go around. There's like moving around. We'll see. Hey, there's probably gonna go for the optimal strats here. And Ganon in Cap, while the other two are in Mushroom, and Hey, they're already in Snow. So the race is definitely spread out quite a bit. Looks like a really close race between Philly and almost tied. Philly looks like a tiny bit in the lead here, but the timers are also slightly desynced. So Blip and Philly super close, right next to each other. And Hey, they're now in Snow. Is going to skip out on any fishes. It's just going to go around.
Yep, so it appears. Pulling that peg and then getting an optimal dive out of that little... what's it called? Tornado, I guess, that comes out of the peg. That was very clean. You might see Blipblow and Philly Fan take the fish. It's not too much slower to do it that way. But, you know, RTA does kind of reign as well. So going around the side is probably a little bit faster than grabbing the capture.
Yeah, really clean from Hey There. I think the only thing you could have maybe done slightly better is diving super early onto that slope so you can get some rolls in instead of diving in the air. But definitely you won't complain here. Is in a super comfortable lead, and he is now moving on to... Wait, is he moving on to Moon already? I think so, right?
So, yeah.
This is the last race. So whenever Hey There is done here, he is going to be done with his run. And Moon, also pretty interesting. Going to use some vector mechanics again and rocket flowers. And it's going to be warping to that race and then start it up. So at this point, it seems pretty unlikely that anybody could take this win from him unless he was to die during this race.
Which is possible. There's definitely a platforming challenge to come with the Moon Kingdom free running. It's one of my favorites, I believe, and it kind of is... You can definitely lose a lot of time in this one, because if you miss one of those rocket flowers, moving around on the moon is very slow. So it's really going to come down to just capturing those rocket flowers and not falling off the edge for Hey There to clutch out this win.
For sure. Looks like clean rocket floor movement so far. Hey there is gonna make that jump over there to that slope. Very nice. It looks actually ridiculous when you get those vectors with those rocket floors. Very pleasing movement here. Going for the long vector over that. Yeah, and all he needs to do now is space out his jumps correctly so that he can skip most of these wall jumps towards the end here. He's gonna get a triple jump. One cap throw, one wall jump, only probably long jumping in here. And hey there takes the race with what we are assuming is an 18:43. Very strong performance from Hey there, making it look like he is above everybody else. Actually, very unfortunate that Ganon did take that death, and Bowser, he seemed to be his biggest competition here. But let's see the end of this, because we are still looking at a race between Bliplo and Philly. Philly definitely starting off the race quite a bit earlier, so this race will actually decide the second and third place.
A very close race between the two of them, yes. And Philly does have a couple seconds of advantage, but Bliplo might have a little bit more Koopa Freerunning experience, so it'll be interesting to see how it edges out at the end.
For sure. So let's see, Philly already down there at the lower level. Bliplo just making it there. It's going to be about these rocket flower jumps. You can see Philly not going for all of these like cap balls that Hey there was going for earlier, which gives him more control, less risky to maybe land against the wall, which with the rocket flower will cause a bonk and then him falling all the way down. He's going to have to space out these jumps correctly though, because specifically here at the end, there could be a major difference in terms of timing. It looks like Philly might have actually dropped the jump, has to go for a ground pound, and I'm not sure how much that's going to matter. He still needs one wall jump there. Bliplo trying to get in there, but not quite enough. Philly still closing out the race first, and Bliplo just behind him. Both of them with sub-20s though. Very strong performance.
Perhaps only edging out Bliplo by about 2 seconds there. So probably 1953 from Philly, 1955 from Blip, if I had to take a guess. And then we're going to watch Ganon Slayer come into the Moon Kingdom and finish this race off for us all. Yeah, really unfortunate that death in Bowser's Kingdom. Obviously losing probably a good 40 seconds just from that. So
yeah, he's definitely annoyed about that one, and I can see it. Probably the most annoying Koopa Freerunning to lose a to take a death in. So definitely can't blame him.
Hey there looks to be doing some Cascade Koopa Freerunning on the side, showing off some potential DSS optimizations here, but not quite getting it.
Okay, I think as Ganon is about to finish up his race, we already have people joining for some post-game thoughts. I have no idea who just joined, but I'm just gonna... Is Hey there here?
Yes.
Nice. GG's on the win.
Thank you.
Give us some thoughts. How do we become this fast?
I don't know. Basically, I thought that I just killed it all when I didn't start the timer and decided to pause.
Oh yeah. Well, that's pretty early to think it's over, but yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. Which is good.
No, it looked pretty clean to me. I'm not sure if you like if you were on track what was happening throughout the race, because we did have Ganon Slayer who just joined the call in the lead for a good amount of time. Seems like that death that he took in Bowser's is still on his mind. I'm not sure if you even caught that, Hey there. Like, were you observing the race as you were going?
Huh?
Were you looking at the race? Were you looking at the race as you were racing yourself?
Commentator's currently trying to conduct an interview while he's doing DSS in Cascade Kingdom.
Yeah. I guess it's like once every 15 minutes or something in this free run. So yeah,
not bad. So going back to the question, did you watch the race while you were racing?
I was trying to focus after.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Nice, gotcha. Okay, going over to second place. Philly fan. GG's, yay!
Underdog!
Let's go! Pretty nice performance, I do have to say. What were your thoughts on the race? Were you at any point nervous? At any point very confident specifically? How do you think did it go? Like how was it for you?
Well, being that I didn't really, a few days ago, I was like, I'll put some time into this category, I guess. So then when the race started, I was like, oh boy, got like the jitters.
Mhm.
The only thing that really went wrong, I'd say, for me was that stupid input getting eaten in Lake.
In Lake, yeah.
Yeah, the stupid flower. But
Yeah.
other than that, I think that went pretty well for my level.
No, for sure. And Dane just also mentioned, I'm not sure if that's something you were aware of, but apparently you got like more coins in Seaside, which made us think that you maybe like got your PB there or something. Is this something you like noticed in the run?
In Seaside, I
Uh-huh.
don't think I noticed I got more coins there too, but I don't think that was a new PB. Because I was looking at the time after each one. I think I missed it by a couple. But
Maybe the Koopa
Okay.
guy was generous or something. I don't know how that really works.
yeah, he didn't realize my pockets were already full. But whatever.
Anyway, potentially. Anyway, we do have... Is Blip in the call as well?
Yep.
Wow, everyone's here. Third place, really close behind
Yeah.
Philly. What were your thoughts on the race? I mean, you literally... First of all, shoutouts to you for being clutch to even fill that spot like last minute. I
Yeah.
actually see some Hawk champs in the chat for Blipblow here, because otherwise you would have had a 3-ray race because Chaos Springer overslept or something. So huge shoutouts on that one. Also, how did the race go for you?
I did well. I'm happy with my performance, but I'm going to be 100% honest. At the end of Lost, I legit forgot where I was supposed to go. So, shout outs to Jig Sky. I pulled a piss PB and won off his split. So, shout out to you. Shout out to you.
That's what I'm calling a clutch gamer. So I'm
Yeah.
calling it.
Because the last one I did of this was like almost a month ago. So,
That's what I'm calling clutches. No, GG's for sure. And once again,
Yeah.
shout out for making this last minute, making the race a little bit more exciting. And then also, with a little bit of a sad grin, Gannon, you led the race. You were the leader in the lead until Bowser's Kingdom. I saw you hesitate there when you pressed pause. What was going through your mind when that bonk occurred?
When that bonk happened, I was like, this is so stupid. Like, I literally told myself to capture there, and then it just didn't happen. So yeah, that loses a minute. So at that point, I just decided to have fun with the rest of the run because I knew there was no way I could come back. So I was just kind of messing around for the rest.
No, I mean, I think that's the best mindset instead of getting extremely mad. I think you were showing your skill anyway, specifically at the beginning, like being in the lead, you were playing really well. And then we both definitely felt it. I can see how, specifically in a run this short, we were saying, I mean, this is pretty much, if I'm not mistaken, this has to be like the worst kingdom to make a mistake and to take it.
Yes, definitely.
So it obviously messes with you immediately. I still think you did well, and I think that's the best thing you could have done. So good job to everybody. Very exciting race. Nonetheless, and once again, Blip, shoutouts for coming in clutch at the end here. Dangers, thank you for joining me on commentary during PACE 2020 online. There's a ton of more exciting speedrunning content coming up for the next days. Obviously, with the huge highlight of the big SM64 120 relay with huge names in there. So make sure to follow the channel. Stay tuned. And yeah, thank you for chilling with us and enjoy more speedrunning content here on twitch.tv/speedrun. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, great race for sure. And don't forget, guys, ! donate in the chat, and then you can get your donations in for the Hackensack University Medical Center Foundation. And you can put your money towards a poll like the OOT file name. Daddy is winning by $110. So for the OOT run, we have Daddy as the file name. Oh, we have $1,000 donated for Squirtle, being the Pokemon for Puzzle League. No money in for anybody else. Somebody really likes Squirtle. Favorite Mario Maker 2 team, we have Grand Pooh Bear and the Beast in the lead with $125. Favorite SM64 team, the Babes, Cheese and Ludwig, are making a sweep with $50. And best game franchise, Pokemon, is just ahead of Zelda at $204.92. So get those donations. Congratulations, everyone, and enjoy the rest of the event.